Hello everyone, this is Sarathi and today's topic is modern theories of capital structure. In the previous session we discussed about the traditional theories of capital structure. Now we'll discuss about modern theories of capital structure. The first one is net income approach. Net income approach. This approach was suggested by Professor Durand. According to Durand, this approach says that capital structure decision is relevant to the value of the firm. That is, the value of the firm is dependent on the capital structure of the firm. That is, the value of the firm increases or decreases is mainly dependent on the capital structure decision of selecting the debt and equity portion. Okay, thus in simple words it can say that the capital structure leads to the change in the overall capital cost of capital as well as the total value of the firm. So the value of the firm and the total overall cost of the capital is dependent on the capital structure of the firm. According to this approach says that use more debt finance to reduce overall cost of capital. This approach will says that in the capital structure use more portion of debt portion than that of equity portion. Okay, to reduce, why we have to use the more debt portion is to reduce the overall cost of capital and to increase the value of the firm. Okay, next coming to assumptions of it. This approach is having some assumptions. The first one is there is no corporate taxes. That is, while selecting the capital structure, we should not have any corporate taxes, and the cost of debt is less than cost of equity. See why this approach says that we have to select on the high portion of debt than that of equity, and the cost of debt is less than the cost of equity. What is the cost of debt? The cost of debt is nothing but the cost which is incurred to raise the debt portion in the organization, we call as cost of debt, and the cost of equity is nothing but the cost which incurred to raise the portion of equity. So the cost of debt must be less and the cost of equity must be more, and in such conditions only this net income approach is applicable. And the use of debt does not change the risk perception of the investor. That is, whenever this approach has assumption that when we use the debt proportion, there is no change in the risk perception of the investor. Okay, so this theory simply we can say that this net income approach was proposed by Durand, and this theory says that the capital structure is dependent on the value of the firm. So we have to select a good capital structure to increase the value of the firm, and it also says that the value of the overall cost of capital and the value of the firm is dependent on the capital structure. Okay, and this theory says that we have to use more debt portion. Coming to assumptions, there is no corporate taxes and the debt portion is less when compared to the equity portion, and it also says that use more debt, and it also says that use of debt portion does not change any risk perception of the investor. Coming to how to calculate the value of the firm, the value of the firm V is equal to value of the firm V is equal to market value of the equity plus market value of the debt. So what is the value of the firm? The value of the firm is equal to market value of the equity plus market value of the debt. Okay, now how to calculate the market value of equity? Yes. See here, V is the value of the firm, S is the market value of the equity, B is the market value of debt. How do we calculate the market value of equity? Is S is equal to market value of equity is equal to net earnings available by cost of equity. S is equal to NI by KE, that is earnings available to equity shareholders by cost of equity. Okay, right, now we go for how to calculate this net earnings available to shareholders and cost of equity, and how to calculate the market value of the firm. Let us go for a simple proforma. See, net operating income, EBIT, from the EBIT we have to reduce the interest on debentures. We will minus the interest on debentures, so that we get the earnings available to the equity shareholders. Okay, then with this coming to capitalization rate, that is KE. Capitalization rate is it is generally mentioned in terms of percentage. Okay, then market value of the firm, market value of the market value of the equity, yes, market value of the debt, B. Now coming to what is the total value of the firm is equal to market value of equity plus market value of the debt. So how to calculate the overall cost of capital, EBIT by this market value of the firm. Okay, right, I repeat again, net income, that is EBIT minus debenture, that is interest. EBIT minus interest gives us earnings available to shareholders. Then we have equity capitalization rate, then market value of the equity, market value of the debt. How do you calculate the total value of the firm is market value of equity plus market value of debt. Now the how to calculate the overall cost of capital, K naught is equal to EBIT by V naught. Here the overall cost of capital K naught is equal to EBIT by value of the firm. How do you calculate value of the firm? Market value of the equity plus market value of the debt. Let us go for a small problem how to calculate this. Let us, here a problem is given for you, that is a company expects a net income of 1 lakh rupee and it has 2,50,000 rupees of debentures with 8% of interest rate. So what is the net income is 1 lakh and it has 2,50,000 rupees of 2,50,000 rupees of debentures with the 8% of interest. The equity capitalization, the equality capitalization rate is 10%. Now calculate the value of the firm and overall capitalization rate according to net income approach, ignoring income tax. Okay, and there is other note that if the debenture debt was increased to 4 lakh rupees, what shall be the value of the firm and overall the capitalization rate. Let us go for the solution of it. See here, what is the net income given here? See, in the problem, the net income is 1 lakh rupee. That is EBIT is 1 lakh. See, EBIT is net income is 1 lakh. Less minus interest for, see, in the problem it is given that the firm is having 2,50,000 rupees of debentures. That is, a company is having 2,50,000 rupees of debt with the interest rate of 8%. That is 2,50,000 into 8 by 100, we will get 20,000 rupees. So what we will do, 2,50,000 into 8 by 100 will get 20,000 rupees. We will minus what we will minus the interest, that is 1 lakh minus 20,000 gives us 80,000 rupees. Now what is the equity capitalization rate? Equity capitalization rate is 10%. That is 80,000 by 10 into 100. So we will get the market value of 8 lakh rupees. Okay, you understand? That is very simple. Net income minus interest. How do we get this interest? 2,50,000 into 8 by 100, we get 20,000. 1 lakh minus 20,000 gives 80,000. And then coming to equity capitalization rate, that is 10%. This 80,000 by 10 into 100 will get 8 lakh rupees. Then what is the market value of debentures? Here in the problem it is given that market value of debentures is 2,50,000. Now what is the value of the firm? What is the formula for value of the firm? Market value of the equity plus market value of the debentures. That is market value of equity. See, it is given here. The value of the firm is market value of the firm is market value of equity plus market value of debt. So we get 8 lakhs plus 2,50,000, we get 10,50,000. Then coming to calculation of overall cost of capital. What is the formula for calculation of overall cost of capital is earnings by value of the firm. What are the earnings here? 1 lakh by what is the value of the firm? 10,50,000 into 100, that it gives us 9.52. So the overall cost of capital is earnings, that is EBIT, net income by value of the firm. Value of the firm is 10,50,000 into 100, we get 9.52. Okay, then there is another there is the other one, that is there is other problem, that is if the debenture value, if the debt is increased to 4 lakhs, then what shall be the value of the firm and what is the overall capitalization rate. Let us see the net income is same, and the debentures value, the debt value is increased to 4 lakhs with 8% of interest rate. 4 lakhs into 8% gives us 32,000. 1 lakh minus 32,000 gives 68,000. 10% of equity capitalization rate, that is 68,000 into 100 by 10 gives us 6,80,000. That is market value of equity is 6,80,000 and market value of debentures is 4 lakhs. 6,80,000 plus 4 lakhs gives us 10,80,000. So what is the value of the firm? Value of the firm is 10,80,000. The overall capitalization rate is earnings by value of the firm into capitalization, which gives us 9.26. Okay. So what in the simple, this problem is very simple. What we have to do is net income minus interest. How do you get interest? 2,50,000 of debenture, that is a debt, into 8% of interest, which gives us 2,50,000 into 8 will give us 20,000. 2,50,000 into 8% will give us 20,000. We will minus it, 80,000, 10%, 80,000 by 10 into 100, 8 lakhs, plus value of the debentures 2,50,000. The total gives us 10,50,000. So we'll go the overall capitalization rate, that is earnings by value of the firm, that is E by DV. Earnings is 1 lakh by value of the firm is 10,50,000, will give us 9.52. And then the next, this also same, which gives us here the small change is the interest was changed because the debt portion was increased to 4 lakhs with 8% of interest rate, that is 4 lakhs into 0.08, that is 4 lakhs into 8 by 100, which gives us 32,000. 1 lakh minus 32,000 gives 68,000, and the equity capital rate is 10%. 68,000 into 100 by 10 gives us 6,80,000, and market value of debentures is 4 lakhs. 6,80,000 plus 4 lakhs gives us 10,80,000. So overall cost of capital is 1 lakh by 10,80,000 into 100, which gives us 9.26. So with this, what we understand is, with the increase in the debt, the value of the firm is increased and the overall cost of capital is decreased. So it is given in the comment box. It is evident that with the increase in debt finance, the value of the firm is increased. Previously, when the debt was 2,50,000, the value of the firm is only 10,50,000. And whenever the debt was increased to 4 lakhs, the value of the firm is 10,50,000. And when the debt was 2,50,000, the cost of capital is 5.52, and the debt is increased to 4 lakhs, the cost of capital is 9.26. So it is evident that with the increase in the debt portion, the cost of capital is decreased and the value of the firm is increased. Okay. Let us go for the next approach, that is net income approach. This approach was suggested by Modren. This is just opposite to net income approach, that is previous approach. According to this approach, capital structure decision is irrelevant of the valuation of the firm. That is, net income approach says that the capital structure of the firm is relevant to the value of the firm, whereas this approach says that the value of the firm is irrelevant. The cost of capital, the capital structure is not dependent on the value of the firm. The market value of firm is not at all affected by the capital structure changes. Okay. According to this approach, the change in the capital structure will not lead to any change in the total value of the firm. According to this approach, what this approach says that with the change in the capital structure, there is no change in the total value of the firm, and the market price of shares as well as overall cost of capital. So in very simple terms, we say that the capital structure is not dependent on the value of the firm, that is not dependent on the market price of the share, and it is not dependent on the overall cost of the capital. Whereas net income approach says that the capital structure is dependent on the cost of capital value of the firm, and this approach, net operating income approach, says that it is not dependent on the cost of capital and the value of the firm. These assumptions are, the overall cost of capital remains constant. That is, there is no change in the cost of capital, and there is no corporate taxes, there is no taxes available. And market capitalization, the value of the firm, and the market capitalizes the value of the firm as a whole. That is, the market capitalization is the value of the firm. Okay, let us go for the formula for it. How to calculate the value of the firm? The value of the firm is calculated by the formula V is equal to EBIT by K naught. V is equal to EBIT by K naught. V is the value of the firm. EBIT is the earnings before interest and tax. That is our net income, operating income. We can say net income, EBIT. K naught is equal to overall cost of the capital. So simply says that in the, see, try to understand. In the net income approach, value of the firm is equal to market value of the equity plus market value of the debt. See here, the market value of the firm is equal to market value of the equity plus market value of the debt. Whereas in case of net operating income approach, the value of the firm is EBIT by the overall cost of capital. Okay, let's go for the next. Next, go for a small problem, how to calculate this one. XYZ company expects a net income EBIT of 2 lakhs. It has 8 lakhs 6% debentures. That is, a company is expecting a net income of 2 lakh rupees, and its capital structure is having 8 lakhs of debt, 8 lakhs of debentures with interest rate of 6%. The overall capitalization rate is 10%. Calculate the value of the firm and the equity capitalization rate, that is cost of equity, according to net income approach. And there is other problem in it. If the debenture debt, if the debt portion is increased to 10 lakhs, previously it was 8 lakhs. If the debt was increased to 10 lakhs, what will be the effect of value of the firm and its value of the firm and the equity capitalization rate. Okay, let us go for the problem. See here, what is the formula for calculation of value of the firm? EBIT by K naught. See here. Okay. See here, what is the net income? That is, EBIT is 2 lakhs. What is the capitalization rate? 10%. See here, net income is 2 lakhs. Overall capitalization rate is 10%. That is 2 lakhs by 10%. That is EBIT by K naught. 2 lakhs into 100 by 10, which gives us 20. Just 1 minute. Okay. See here, the EBIT is 2 lakhs, capitalization rate is 10%. So 2 lakhs into 100 by 10. Okay, that is 20 lakhs. Then market value of the firm is 20 lakhs less market value of debentures. Market value of debentures is 8 lakhs. See here, as it is mentioned that the company is having a debt of 8 lakhs. So 8 lakhs. So then 20 lakhs minus 8 lakhs will give us 12 lakhs. Okay, now next. Equity capitalization rate formula. What is the formula for equity capitalization rate or cost of equity is EBIT minus interest by value of the firm minus value of the debt capital. What is EBIT? 2 lakhs. Interest. How do you calculate interest? See here, we have 8 lakhs of debt with a 6% interest. 8 lakhs into 6 by 100. That is 8 6 are 48. That is, so interest is 48,000. Interest is 48,000. How do you calculate interest? 8 lakhs into 6%. So we will get 48,000 by what is the value of the firm here? Value of the firm is 20 lakhs. See here, it is given here, the value of the firm is 20 lakhs. How do you get the value of the firm here? This is how we will calculate the value of the firm in this way. That is operating income by what do you say, this overall cost of capital, so that we get the 20 lakh rupees. Okay, then minus this debt portion. the debt portion is 8 lakhs. So we will get the equity capital rate is 12.67. Okay. Right. Next, if there is other one. If the debentures was increased to 10 lakhs. See, previously it was 8 lakhs. Now, if the debentures was increased to 10 lakhs, what will the value of the firm? Shall it remain unchanged to 20 lakhs? And what about the equity capital? Let us see the same formula, EBIT minus E by value of the firm minus debt portion. What is the EBIT? 2 lakhs. See, it is given in the problem. EBIT is 2 lakhs. Net income is 2 lakhs minus interest. Interest is, previously when it is the debt portion is 8 lakhs, the interest portion is 48,000, because 8 lakhs into 6% interest, 8 lakhs into 6 by 100 will get 48,000. Okay. If it was decreased, if the debt portion was increased to 10 lakhs, that is 10 lakhs into 6%, 10 lakhs into 6 by 100 will get 60,000 into 100 by value of the firm is 20 lakhs minus debt portion is 10 lakhs, will get 14%. So it says that with the increase in the debt portion from 8 lakhs to 10 lakhs, the equity capital rate was increased. Previously debt portion was 8 lakhs. The equity capital rate is 12.67. If the debt was increased to 10 lakhs, the equity capital rate is 14%. Okay, right. This is the next. Next we go for approach, that is Murglani and Miller approach. According to this approach, it states that financing decision of the firm does not affect the market value of the firm when it is in the perfect market capital conditions. In case of perfect capital market condition, the financing, the value of the firm will not dependent. The value of the firm is not dependent on the capital structure decision. So it simply says that approach remains. Approach maintains the average cost of capital does not change with the debt weighted equity mix or the capital structure of the firm. So try to understand, in the net income approach it says that the value of the firm is dependent on the capital structure. Okay, and this net operating income says that it is irrelevant of cost of capital and the capital structure. And this approach says that it will not change, it will maintain the does not change with the debt portion or equity portion or the cost of capital. Okay, let us see some of the assumptions. Some of the assumptions of the approach is there is a perfect capital market. What is perfect capital market conditions? As we studied the same in the economics, that is, a market condition will have a large number of buyers, large number of sellers, there is no transaction cost and there is no corporate taxes, and there is information is available to all the shareholders. We call it as a perfect capital market conditions. Okay, and there is no retained earnings. That is, a firm should not retain any earnings of the firm. What is retained earnings? See, a company will get net profits. Out of the net profits, some portion is kept with the business. That money we call it as retained earnings. And the remaining money is given to the shareholders. See, for example, you get a net profit of 100 rupees. 20 rupees is kept with you and 80 rupees is given to the shareholders. This 20 rupees we call it as retained earnings. This MA approach says that there should not be no retained earnings and there is no corporate taxes, and the investor should act rationally according to the requirement. And the dividend payout ratio is 100%. That is, we have to pay 100% of dividend payout ratio. And the business consists of the same level of business risk. That is, the business will consist of same level of business risk at all the times. Coming to the calculation of the value of the firm, it is EBIT into 1 minus T by K naught. EBIT is nothing but, as we know, earning before interest and taxes. K naught is the overall cost of capital and T is the tax rate. Let us go for a small problem on it. There are two firms, A and B, which are exactly identical except that A does not use any debt in financing, while B used 2,50,000 rupees at 6% interest with the debentures in its financing. That is, it says that there are two firms A and B. A doesn't have any debt portion, whereas B has 2,50,000 rupees of debt portion with 6% of interest. Okay, both firms has EBIT of 7,75,000 and equity capitalization rate is 10%. Assuming corporate tax is 50%, calculate the value of the firm. Okay, now we will go for calculation of value of the firm. That is, value of the firm is EBIT by K naught. What is the EBIT here? 75,000 by K naught. Capitalization rate is 10%. That is 10 by 100. We get 7,50,000. Okay. Then market value of the B, which uses debt financing of 2,50,000 is that is 7,50,000. That is market value of the firm, and T is the tax is 50% of 2,50,000. That is its debt financing amount. Okay, 50% of 2,50,000 is 1,25,000. So 7,50,000 plus 1,25,000 gives us 8,75,000. Okay, right now. So finally, in this session, we have discussed about what are the various theories. That is net income approach, which is not relevant to the which is the net income says that the debt portion is must be high, and this approach says that the capital structure decision is dependent on the value of the firm, and we have the formula: value of the firm is equal to market value of the equity plus market value of the debt. We calculate the market value of the equity by the market value of equity with the formula, that is net earnings available to equity shareholders by cost of equity, and we have perform for calculating market value of the firm and the total value of the firm and overall cost of capital. And then we have some problems on it. We have discussed these problems also. We have assumptions. Then we have net operating income approach. Right, this approach says that the value of the firm is dependent on the cost of capital and as well as the capital structure of the firm. We have formulas and a problem, and approach, and we have formula of it and problems. Okay, if you have any doubts, you can contact me. Thank you.